Hi, my name is Sarah Marquardt. I live in Madison, Wisconsin. I work as an X-ray tech, and my question is, what is water scarcity and how do our habits contribute to it?
I'm Trina McMahon. I'm a professor in the Civil and Environmental Engineering department, but I'm also in the bacteriology department. So I study water. I've always studied water, but since coming here to UW-Madison, I've become really interested in studying the lakes and the microorganisms that live in lakes and microorganisms that do really important jobs for us, like treat wastewater. Water scarcity, when I hear that term, I think of just that there's not enough water in the right place at the right time. So we live really close to the Great Lakes, and the Great Lakes are the largest source of fresh water in the whole world. So we're right near this huge supply of water, but it may not always be where we need it to be at the moment that we need it, and it may not be clean enough for the purposes that we need it for at the time that we need it. So when people use water, they first treat it for whatever purpose they're going to use it for, and often that's drinking. So we have established technologies for treating water for drinking. It's not very expensive as long as the water that you start with is pretty clean. If the water that you start with has a lot of chemicals in it or pathogens in it or things that you wouldn't want to drink, then you have to spend a lot more money, a lot more energy to make that water clean so that you can drink it. So here in this part of Wisconsin, and also in large parts of Wisconsin, we get our drinking water from groundwater. So it's pumped out of very deep aquifers, sort of like a giant sponge in the earth. And we pump that out, and it's very clean, so we don't have to treat it very much. But then after we use it and we release it back into the environment, it goes into surface water, so it goes into a lake or a river. And so we've now taken water out of the ground and put it on the surface. And the replenishment of the groundwater is a very slow, long process. And so we run into the situation of the groundwater becoming depleted. And so using less water on a daily basis will make that aquifer last longer for future generations of Wisconsinites to use that water. So one threat to water systems globally, of course, but even in Wisconsin, is climate change. We know that climate change is altering the water cycle. So here in Wisconsin, it means that we are getting more rain, and we are getting it in more intense events. So we get more flashy, big rain events. That doesn't impact our drinking water here in Madison very much, again, because our water comes from the aquifers, but in parts of Wisconsin where water is being taken from lakes and rivers, that can really influence the quality and the quantity of the water that's available. And then there's a lot of other things related to pollution of surface waters that are exacerbated by climate change drivers.